Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Redshirt Ensign Nash. His continuing mission: to record his personal log, to recount his tedious duties as per Starfleet regulations, to boldly go where we've all been before.
Computer, begin recording. Captain's log.
Just kidding. Ensign Nash's personal log, stardate 1331.0. We got new uniforms recently, and let me tell you, they are not comfortable. Well, when I say recently, that's not entirely accurate. See, we had these uniforms back when Pike was in command, but Kirk wanted to go back to the gold, green, blue ones. So we did. For one whole mission before Starfleet came down on him for it. Now we're back to the gold, red, blue ones, and I think they gave me one of the early prototypes by accident because, as you can see, my assignment badge is too small and definitely not in the right place. That's me, always an afterthought on this ship. As I've said before, even my quarters look like the mock-up room was thrown in as a joke. Or like one of those cardboard TV show sets from the 1960s. I put in a work order months ago, but I'm starting to think no one's ever going to get around to it. And we've had this new captain, Kirk, only a short time, and since he's taken command, not only has he messed with our uniforms, he's almost gotten us all killed twice. First, it was his friend Gary Mitchell, the psychic psycho, and now... Well, to be fair, Pike almost got us all killed a bunch of times too, but at least he was personable and experienced. I trusted him to be able to get us out of the trouble he got us into. Kirk is the youngest captain Starfleet has ever had, and I'll be honest, it's nerve-wracking. I give it 6 months before he's court-martialed. For example, today, the engines almost completely burned out because he decided to, get this, extend our deflector around this rando ship. Just a tiny little cargo ship, but still. And fine, I get it. We're Starfleet. We try to save lives whenever possible. And the ship was heading into an asteroid field, but extending the deflector around them is actually crazy. That genius maneuver burned out 2 of our crystals in no time. And, who should be on that ship we saved but notorious criminal Harry Mudd. Sorry, Leo Walsh. Like that was going to fool anyone. The computer can analyze your biosignature, dummy. He's apparently this criminal mastermind, but doesn't realize the computer can bring up his entire record. Pathetic. Great taste in facial hair, though. Now, I'd heard some stories about Mudd from an academy buddy who serves on the Discovery. We got to catch up back when Pike was assigned command of the Disco temporarily. Now, according to him, Mudd was a Klingon prisoner for something like 6 months. I didn't think Klingons took prisoners, but then again, I just barely scraped by in my Klingon culture course at the Academy, so what do I know? Mudd's record says he stole a starship and was sentenced to psychotherapy. I guess anyone who survives 6 months in a Klingon prison is bound to need some psychotherapy. Anyway, so we've burned out 2 crystals. The third has a fracture, the converter assembly's blown out too, and we're running on only battery power. Now, do you know what happens when one of the crystals burns out? The power fluctuates throughout the ship because the system has to compensate for the loss of the crystal. Lights flicker, consoles power cycle, turbo lifts stop suddenly, etc. How about when the converter assembly overloads? Well, not a whole lot visually, but it makes it very difficult to turn the crystals into energy to power the ship. Oh man, I wish I was in the room to see Mudd's face when the computer ID'd him. I bet it was priceless. But I wasn't assigned his trial. Not that I could have gone anyway. I was too busy in engineering, working on Lieutenant Commander Scott's plan to jerry-rig a makeshift converter assembly for the last crystal to amplify the battery's output. I may or may not have been responsible for burning out the last crystal. But then at that point, we were already on our way to Rigel 12 to get more crystals. So it was fine. After my duty shift was over, I ran into Mudd's cargo walking around the ship. Let me clarify. Mudd's cargo were 3 women who were supposed to be getting married to some settlers on Ophiuchus 3. What a bonkers universe we live in. I didn't know mail-order brides were still a thing in the 23rd century. And everyone's staring at them like they're a 3-course steak dinner. Honestly, I don't know what all the fuss is about. They're not that hot. Like, at all. They're Ryzen 5s, and that's being generous. Even Kirk's got his regulation underwear in a bunch. And when we get to Rigel 12, the miners won't give us the crystals. I guess Mudd had something to do with that. I don't know. But Mudd and all 3 of the women beam down with the captain for negotiations, I guess. And then one of the women wanders off during a magnetic storm. Who wanders off during a magnetic storm? It took us 7.5 goddamn hours to find her. And guess where we found her? In one of the miners' quarters. We started off orbiting Rigel 12 with 3 days worth of power. And after Mudd's intervention and a pointless search through a magnetic storm, when we finally got the damn replacement crystals, we only had about 30 minutes worth of power left. 30 minutes. 30 minutes before the entire ship goes dead. Our orbit decays, and we burn up in the atmosphere because the shields don't work. But that's okay, I guess, since we die long before burning up due to life support going offline. Yeah, I swear, the whole engineering team was sweating through their uniforms. But, we worked fast and efficiently, and we got everything installed and working in no time. Lieutenant Commander Scott said he knew we could do it. I'm not sure any of us did, though. I guess you either believe in yourself or you don't. Computer end recording.